All right, so this is a game that I played earlier today, and I'm pretty proud of it. So I forced a resignation against black here on the 11th move, on my 11th move. So I start off pushing king's pawn up to pretty standard response of king's pawn being pushed twice as well from the black side. I bring my king's knight out. The queen gets pushed out here. I'm to protect the king. I'm not entirely sure why. I feel like I can capitalize that on later in the game, but nonetheless, I continue on with pushing my king's bishop up to c4, and then he replies back with a king's knight pawn getting pushed up. But just one space. So I'm figuring that he's trying to get his bishop out. So I counter that with pushing my queen's pawn. And I figure that will allow me this extra line as well. Straight through at some point. So he counters with the knight. I choose not to take because of this bishop. Instead, I bring out my own knight. And I personally like to bring out the knights before I bring out the bishops anyway, because too often this rook ends up getting trapped, and so I lose the pawn and then the rook, and I don't like doing so. So I always try to bring out this knight first before I move the bishop. So from there, he moves the rook. I'm not really sure what his thought is behind that, other than potentially if something were to happen with his pawn here, he doesn't get his knight taken out. Or, his rook taken out. So then, at that point, I say, well, let's take this, or let's threaten this queen, and when he moves, then I can take this pawn and threaten his king and rook. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. He takes a while to think about it. And I think he actually comes up with a pretty decent plan. So now he's protecting and blocking my ability to take. Well, I'm thinking a while now as well. I feel like there's got to be something for me to do. And my first inkling is I got to move this guy out of the way. I just got to move him out. No other reason than, well, now the queen's there. But I finally relax, and I decide to bring out this bishop. Knowing that he's protected here and here is ultimately what gave me that confidence. And I'm like, I don't want to take this guy because I'll just get him taken back. So I know that this space and this space, the king can't go. And I figure that my next move, I can come in for a check at either one of these positions. Or, well, I shouldn't say either one, but I can come in for a check, and the king can't realistically take me back lest he get taken by this bishop. And so I feel like this is a pretty solid start. He pushes his pawn, probably to scare me away. I am undeterred by it because I'm planning on making that move anyway. So now I've checked, and I figure I'm going to have this piece here, but get it taken back, very simply, and I'll just be 2 points up. So he comes over, and I take. Well, at that same point, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's a reveal as well. So I'm like, okay, I'll take this, since he's got to move it, and so I get the full rook by itself, and then it's just an exchange here. So I take, he takes, I take, and so I should go up. So instead, he decides to push this pawn. I'm like, okay, is this a free piece? Am I missing something? I'm like, you know what? I think it's just a free piece, so I take it. Sure enough, he's in check. I say, I think he's just giving me pieces. So I come down. At that point, he's got nothing left, and it's going to be a free queen against his king. and he resigns at that point. So that was the 11th move, and man, I am proud of how I played that. Wish I had seen some of those moves a little bit more advanced as I was making them, but everything fell in line properly. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You can watch my live stream on Twitch almost every day. Typically it's Saturday being the only day on the weekend, but Monday through Saturday, 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. And you can find that link down below under my Twitch account or Twitch link. Thanks for watching.